Hello everyone, and welcome to 1923 Main Street. This is the first edition of our Daddy-Daughter Disney Travel Podcast, starring me, the dad, and someone over here I beat her to the punch on that one, so I've got a big face looking at me.
Hi, I'm Amelia, and I'm going to be the real star of the show here today.
Amelia is currently 11 years old in grade 6, and I'm a little bit older. We'll just leave it at that. We are coming to you from Oakville, Ontario, Canada, just outside of Toronto, from our fabulous 1923 Main Street studio. In fact, that is not our address. 1923 Main Street is a name I came up many years ago when I ran another Disney travel site, and I wanted to pick a name that captured the essence of Disney, but didn't infringe on any copyrights. So 1923 was the year Disney was founded. You'll know that from D23 if you're a Disney fan. And Main Street, of course, Main Street USA. So that really captured the essence of Walt Disney's wholesome family view from Marceline, Missouri on Main Street. So that's where the name 1923 Main Street comes from. And we are going to do this Daddy-Daughter Disney Travel Podcast. That's a tongue twister for me, so I may mess that up at some point. And cover really our area is the upscale parts of Disney travel. You want to say something?
Yes, well, as I've been hinting, I really think that Disney is such a great place for all ages because there's like rides for the kids and there's like coffee shops and popcorn stands for like maybe kids who are too little and like the parents that don't want to go on all the thrill rides. And I think that's important and that it's great for all ages because I know I've gone, 27 times now, and you just never get bored because there's always something new happening and it just keeps getting better and better.
So that actually raises a good point. So when Amelia says 27 times, she means 27 individual vacations. So that means 27 times getting on a plane from Toronto, flying to stay on site in Disney Deluxe Resort hotels for a week. So that's not 27 park visits. Sometimes we run into that with people. A little bit about myself. I do run a luxury Disney travel blog at Belobradic.com, so check that out. I'm getting the eye roll for my shameless plug. And I did spend a few years as a Disney travel agent, but my history goes way back to 1966. My father was the original Disney traveler, and he used to take us from Toronto to Disneyland in California before Walt Disney World even opened. My first memory is at 4 years old, standing at the gates of Disneyland. So, of course, when Walt Disney World opened in Florida, that was a 24-hour drive for my dad from Toronto, and we started from day one, spending 3 weeks a year there, and we've pretty much kept that up for the last nearly 50 years, 2 to 3 weeks a year. I just had my 101st vacation last March, 102nd in the summer, and coming up... 101 in the summer, coming up to 102 in March 2020. So that's 100 Walt Disney World vacations. And we had a good time last March, did we not, for number 100?
Oh, yes. And there's so many things that you can do at Disney. And even having gone, for me, almost 30 times, and you've gone like 100, and there are new stuff that we'll be doing each time that we've never done before, not having done in a while.
Yeah, people find that hard to believe, that I've been 101 vacations, and literally every time we go, there's something new, something small, something unique, but something new, which is, even I find it hard to believe, but that's what I tell people, because what's the question I get asked all the time?
Well, don't you get bored? I mean, you go like 100 times.
Yeah, people, and I get how people don't understand. How can you go so much? You know, you're an adult, you get that angle, and why do you go so much? But really, I was interviewed by the Orlando Sentinel for number 100 back in March, and I was asked that question, and it really struck me at that time. Because we started going as a family when we were kids, me and my 3 sisters with my parents, 3 weeks a year at Walt Disney World, it became sort of like our summer home or a cottage away, so that we don't view them the way many people do when you go just once, and there's a lot of pressure to pack everything into a week stay there. After 100 times, as you can imagine, it's much more relaxed. My sisters, 2 of them who go more frequently now, one was a cast member for over 10 years, but my 2 other ones who still travel down with us, There was a 5-year stretch, I think, where they never even entered a park. They just spent their time at the Disney Resort hotels and downtown, or Disney Springs, or what my sister will still call the Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village, which was the original name for Disney Springs many, many years ago. So the point is that there's a lot more to do at Disney than just visit the parks. Now, of course, we love the parks. We're great annual pass members and we love going there. But a lot of what we're going to talk about on this podcast is things you can do outside of the parks. And we're not just going to talk about Walt Disney World. What else are we going to talk about?
Well, not just Walt Disney World, but also some of the stuff that goes along with Walt Disney World. Like, for example, the entire Disney company. And there are Disneys that are not just in Florida. Like there's one in California, there's some in Tokyo and Paris. And there's Disneys all over the world. And sometimes you might think it's hard to capture that original magic. But there's sort of a different feeling each time you go somewhere new. And it's still the Disney magic, but it's a little bit different. And it's cool to see how the Disney magic can still be alive, but in a different way in a different part of the world.
And we're not just going to talk about parks. We also love going to Disney Aulani in Hawaii, Disney Vero Beach in Florida. There's Hilton Head Island. So there's lots of places that we like to go. So that's what you're going to find with each episode of 1923 Main Street. And we have a long background and we love talking about it and sharing things with our listeners. And of course, drop by the website if you have any questions. We'd love to answer them each week on the show. You're going to find different perspectives between Amelia and I. We have different views on things. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't, but it's all good. So the whole point of this is daddy and daughter. You get the adult and the child view. Right, Amelia?
Yes, and I believe that my sole purpose here is to make sure he doesn't bore you. Facts and more facts. I'm here to lighten it up a little bit.
I was already getting, the looks a few times as I rolled through my history. I get that a lot with Amelia when she's telling me, stop talking so much about your 100 vacations. All right, let's start with some rapid fire just to round out this short first episode. I've prepared a little top 5 list. I've got the edge because I saw it. So we're going to go through 5 things and we're going to each name our favorites just to do something a little bit interesting at the end of this first episode. Okay, Amelia, favorite Disney Resort hotel. Before you answer, this can be anywhere. Your favorite Disney Resort hotel, and it doesn't have to be a park hotel.
Can I do top 3?
All right, you can do top 3, but start with your favorite and then give me 2 runners-up.
Okay, so my personal favorite hotel ever that belongs to Disney is Disney's Aulani in Hawaii. It is so beautiful, and it's on the ocean. And even though there's no park in Hawaii, it's so magical, and there's different things you can do. And so my first runner-up is...
Right, and we'll be heading back there this summer, so we'll be... maybe we'll even do an episode from there. That'll be fun. All right, first runner-up
is Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, and this is located at Walt Disney World in Florida. And it's so beautiful, and it's Victorian, and it's really different than anything that Disney's done before. And it's just like, and even around Christmas time, they have this beautiful gingerbread house. And there, it's not just Disney parks and everything. It's a sort of different era, and it explores new things. And then my third favorite Disney hotel is in Paris, and it's very different because...
The Disneyland Hotel we stayed in.
The Disneyland Hotel. And it has this amazing club level, and there's
We love club level.
I do. And there's actually characters that you can meet that are not part of a special character breakfast. They're just in and around and about there, and it's so cool to see that because you can't see that at any other Disney resort.
Actually, that is one amazing thing, the Disneyland Hotel club level. So you'll find that we're generally going to be talking about either the Disney Vacation Club villas, because we did join that quite a few years ago, and also club level accommodations at the deluxe hotels. Those are our 2 favorite haunts. But the club level at Disneyland Hotel in Disneyland Paris every morning at the club level breakfast, the characters show up, and we're talking A level: Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Goofy. It's really impressive, to the point that I've never had so much quality time with the Disney characters as I did during that week. All right, my favorite Disney Resort hotel. I'm going to hedge a little bit too. I do love Aulani, obviously, but I'm going to go with the Grand Floridian. It is my favorite. It is not one of the originals that we stayed in. Those were the Polynesian and the Contemporary, but I've loved it ever since it opened, and it is my go-to. However, I will also have one hedge on this and say that the Bora Bora bungalows at the Polynesian, if you're asking me my favorite accommodation, I would have to go with the bungalows themselves. But from a whole resort perspective, it's got to be the Grand Floridian. And maybe we'll do another episode where we talk in more detail about the Polynesian bungalows, because they are superb. All right, are you ready? Number 2.
Hit me.
What is your favorite Disney park? Single park. Could be anywhere.
Anywhere, like around the world?
That you've been to.
All right, so this is a difficult one, but I think I would have to say it's a tie between Disney's Hollywood Studios in Florida. That's my absolute favorite park there. And I'm also a pretty big fan of Disney's California Adventure in California. And I like them because those two parks, they have a lot of thrill rides and a lot of themed rides, which I think are really fun, because when you're on a thrill ride and you're also enjoying a story as well. And this is not my favorite overall park, but Disneyland Paris has a park with 2 fantastic rides, Big Thunder and Space Mountain. They're better than the originals.
So you like Hollywood Studios even before it had Galaxy's Edge or Toy Story Mania. Is that just because of Rock and Roller Coaster?
Well, not just because of Rock and Roller Coaster.
Which will probably soon be renamed.
I also like Tower of Terror, which is so fun, and actually my mom can't even ride that because of the drops. But I have always loved losing my stomach. Like, even when we'd go snowboarding and we'd do the country roads, and I just love the hills when I'd lose my stomach. So I love that ride, and I love, when I was little, it actually scared me. The Great Movie Ride, how they'd hijack your boat, so that always scared me.
Your car.
Yeah, same thing. And then...
Okay, it's my turn now.
Okay, sorry.
Favorite Disney park for me. You know it. What is it?
The Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, it has to be. As an original traveler there, for over 10 years, that was Walt Disney World. It was the one park, the 2 hotels, and the campground, and we spent an awful lot of time there, and that still has the nostalgia for me, being in the Magic Kingdom. There was one point in the mid-'70s where I was, we went so much that I was in a promotional video, and I found it on YouTube recently that for the Vacation Kingdom of the World, as they used to call it. So that was fun. I got to do a promotional video for Disney as a kid. Didn't get paid, but I got to race a sea racer around for 2 or 3 hours for free. So that was fun. So Magic Kingdom for me. Okay.
You never let us forget that promotional video. Let me remind you. I was in a Disney video. Yes, I am Disney famous.
All right, on to number 3. What is your favorite Disney attraction? Anywhere.
Ooh, that's a hard one, because if you were just going to say in Florida, I'd have to go with Rock and Roller Coaster. But when I went to Disneyland Paris, their Space Mountain is fantastic. And it was actually, I'm pretty sure, one of the first upside-down roller coasters at Disney, one of the originals. And it is fantastic. So that is probably my all-time favorite ride at Disney.
It is a good one. And if anyone's watching the Imagineering story, it was interesting. I guess it was the first, even before Rockin', that had that catapult launch, before it was rethemed as Hyperspace Mountain like it is right now. Okay. My favorite Disney attraction, again, I'm going to stick with the classics and go with the Haunted Mansion Magic Kingdom version. That's still a favorite for me. It always was from the very beginning, and that's going to top my list. All right, number 4. Favorite Disney restaurant?
Ooh, Now that is definitely a hard one. So my favorite upscale restaurant and my favorite
Let me put it this way. If you could only eat at one Disney restaurant, what would it be?
And I think this is probably different, and I'm pretty sure I know what your answer is. But because I'm a kid, I love the fun. So my favorite Disney restaurant would have to be Whispering Canyon. It's so fun to go there. And it's not just a restaurant, it's an experience. And then my runner-up...
So that's the Whispering Canyon Cafe in Disney's Wilderness Lodge, in case you haven't been there.
Yes, and my runner-up, which is probably what you're going to say, is Disney's Victoria and Albert's.
And that is correct. There's no question for me. Victoria and Albert's at the Grand Floridian is, without a doubt, my favorite Disney restaurant. Nothing beats it. You do need to put aside about 5 hours and, bring your credit card. That's for sure. But there's nothing like it. It's quite unique. You're really closed off from the world, and their service is second to none, and it's all by design. So that is definitely my favorite Disney restaurant. All right, number 5, probably the easiest one, I think. I think I know your answer, and you probably know mine. What is your favorite Disney snack?
Well, I do love them all, but my absolute favorite, and this is an easy one, and I'm pretty sure I know what your answer would be as well, is going to be Disney popcorn, of course.
Yeah, that's my... We know each other well on this one. I mean, I'm not a huge sweet fan. I do like Mickey sandwiches and Mickey bars and things, but Disney popcorn, without question, has been from the very beginning my favorite. It used to be Orville Redenbacher's, then they switched to Pop Secret, and we have a big... life-size Disney popcorn machine at home, or Disney-like. We've retrofitted it to look like a Disney popcorn machine, and I spend my time trying to duplicate their exact oil mixture of coconut oil and peanut, or there's lots of things. They keep it secret of trying to get the exact flavor. We're getting pretty close, and we enjoy it nonetheless. But yeah, Disney popcorn is by far the favorite for me.
Yeah, and he's been trying to perfect this recipe for years and years. Now, can I ask you one question? Because you've been keeping all the questions to yourself, and I want to surprise you. What is your favorite Disney character to meet? If you could only meet one character ever again, who would it be?
I'm going to stick with the classics and go with Mickey. I love meeting Mickey. Even non-talking Mickey. There was that time where Mickey talked in the town square meeting, and you saw him once there, but they're not letting him talk so much anymore. They're probably going to work on that in the future, but for me it would definitely be Mickey. He's classic. And if Mickey and Minnie are together, that's even more fun, because the two of them together, we've had a lot of good times with them. Okay, so how about you? Who's your favorite character?
Yeah, well, I also have to stick with the classics, but instead of Mickey, I would have to go with Minnie. She's so fun, and when I'm down there, I always have, Mickey or Minnie's clothings on, so I always, I'll point out to them, ooh, I have you on my shirt, or whatever, and then it's so nice to see their reactions.
And, of course, we have a little kitten at home who's now 10 months old, and who is named what?
Minnie.
Yeah, I know it's a bit ironic we call her Minnie Mouse, but she's a cat and she's a mouse catcher, but we'll leave that on the side for now. But Minnie's pretty feisty. All right, that's all the time we have for you today. Hope you enjoyed our introductory episode, and feel free to reach out to us at 1923mainstreet.com. Send in any questions, comments, and we'll be going in depth on lots of topics coming in future episodes of the Daddy-Daughter Disney Travel Podcast. So glad you joined us. Thanks for Mike, Amelia.
And, I'm the real star, so hopefully you'll be seeing me next week.
I'm noticing she's actually even holding back a little microphone shy, I think, today on episode 1. So I'm watching for this to burst out as we move further down the line. So thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to speaking to you next time here at 1923 Main Street.
Bye-bye.